I keep giving bad people good ideas.
Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today's video is another little commentary video, and in these commentary videos recently, we have been talking about a lot of pieces of shit that are on the internet. Today's video is sadly no different than that. We're talking about yet again another piece of shit. But this piece of shit is a legendary piece of shit that has been sticking on the internet for a long time. And if you know, you know. We're gonna be talking about EDP 445 or whatever the fuck his name is. And if you don't know the origin stories, I'll try and explain it as quickly as possible. But pretty much EDP 445 was a TikToker, YouTuber that was kind of obsessed with the Seahawks and just sports in general. He would gain popularity by having overreactions to like sports clips or games and stuff. And with those overreactions, those would be turned into meme clips. I remember at the time when he first blew up and before everyone figured out he was a absolute fucking weirdo, not just some random, silly, unhinged guy. There was like a big difference from being a little unhinged, joking around, and kind of being like, oh, that guy's a little silly, that guy's a little weird, than being a full-out, full-blown fucking weirdo. And at first, everyone thought he was a little unhinged. He would just say a little edgy jokes, and, you know, the internet being the internet, that's kind of normal shit that happens. So no one really thought, hey, he's this weirdo pedophile. Well, lo and behold, he is a weirdo pedophile. There's a lot of them, sadly, on the internet. And it's as sad as it is, they can look like any of us, like deadass. On the internet, there has been like pedos or like fat ass shit like EDP, or those TikTok look maxing people that could probably pull any chick that they would want if they just kind of put the effort into bettering their lives and just having a decent fucking attitude towards people. They can even end up being pedophiles as well. It's actually crazy. I think there was this one guy named Hulu, or not Hulu, that's the streaming service. I think his name was Hollow or some shit. And he was this TikTok look maxer, and he got fucking taken down for having 3 terabytes of child porn. And I'm telling you, this guy isn't that ugly looking. And also on top of that, the guy had a girlfriend too. So he could pull women his age, pull women that he wanted. So again, sometimes when I first would hear about these stories online, I always thought it was just desperate motherfuckers like EDP, but it even could be just straight up motherfuckers that kind of have shit going for them, and they're just fucked up in the head, deprived in the head in some kind of degree, or again, it really comes down to like self-control, other things. But mainly we're going to be trying to talk about the documentary that EDP released, because this documentary is honestly one of the most pointless, stupidest documentaries you could drop, especially if you're EDP. And with EBT, we're just gonna call him EBT, because, dude, he's probably on EBT after fucking his whole career going out the fucking window. I can't believe I called EDP fucking EBT. Oh my god. But whatever. So, pretty much, what was I at? That threw me off so bad. That was actually kind of funny. But yeah, no, pretty much, with this documentary, he had full control over the narrative. He could have, like most people in this situation, if they're making a documentary about themselves, especially if it's not just about their life and to make them look good and look like they're the shit. If it's about a thing they've been accused of, some shit that's going on that they're involved in, they're gonna try to paint themselves to look like the best person they can, so then they can look like the good guy in the situation. Does fuck, I keep calling him EBT. Fuck, what's his stupid ass name? EDP. I keep wanting to say EBT, but EDP, does he do the right thing and just tries to paint the picture to where he looks better or at least decent, or at least fucking innocent. No, he's a fucking idiot and doubles down. Yeah, at this point, that's where I'm kind of like, why even make the documentary? Because again, at this point, if you ever, because the only reason why this motherfucker is in jail is because the 2 sting operations to catch this motherfucker with solid evidence, since the YouTubers, yes, fucking YouTubers, not law enforcement, YouTubers did the operation, and they did it in a stupid way. They did, because again, there are YouTube channels and groups that do it in the legal way and actually get these people prosecuted. And again, kudos to them. But again, those fucking idiots that don't do the proper legal shit, I think after this they learned that those like proper ways of doing shit to actually get people incarcerated afterwards. But either way, at the time, JDR and all of them, they didn't know. So the case pretty much couldn't really become a case. It just kind of got thrown out the window because rules were broken and shit like that. So he technically got away with piles of evidence too. So again, the cat's already out the bag. Instead of like, again, with this, using this documentary to kind of make himself look like a halfway decent human being, he just kind of doubles down on how much of a piece of shit he is. Again, I didn't watch the whole thing, but he goes into how, like, pretty much he's a porn addict, big red flag, especially with being a child pedo. How he pretty much fantasizes pretty much younger people. It goes into the text messages that he was exposed for, but again, the case got thrown out because rules were broken, and the operation or the investigation that the YouTubers pulled wasn't fully stable enough to become a case, I guess. I don't know. I don't know all the legal ins and outs. I do feel like if there's at least solid proof and the proof isn't fake that someone's a pedo, they should, be held up to those consequences. But again, with that, there is a lot of laws and rules. Because again, these people can easily throw the entrapment card or throw out something to wiggle out of it. So that's why there's these rules and these big kind of ways they do the operations and investigations. Because again, these people can, just lawyer up and be like, oh, I got entrapment, oh, blah, 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 this. So again, they try to avoid that. But, with this, it's kind of stupid because, again, the evidence is right out there. And, again, like I said, he doubles down on it, and you see truly how much of a piece of shit he is. Like, we already know he's a piece of shit, but it's crazy because he goes into being, like, a porn addict, how he loves just porn, all this shit. And it just kind of, it's weird as fuck. Me being a single guy, I get it. Sometimes you gotta do your business. But if you're doing it every single day, you got a schedule for that shit, you're doing it like 3 times a day, you need help, my brother. Like, you need help. Like, if you're a single guy, I get it, you gotta get your rocks off, you gotta do your shit. But, like, you're doing that shit maybe, like, every couple days, few days, maybe once a week. The motherfuckers doing it every single day, fucking to have a routine, do it like lunch, breakfast, dinner. Well, get some fucking help, like, goddamn. But either way, he pretty much goes into how he's pretty much a severe porn addict. He pretty much gets to the point where he almost just prefers watching porn, beating his dick in a dark room, than having an actual sexual relationship. And there's proof to this in that documentary, as he somehow, after all of this, after getting proved that he's a child fucking predator, pretty much, that he's interested in younger people, that he has no respect for, people in general, especially women, he somehow gets a fucking girlfriend. Is she the best looking girlfriend? No, but for EDP standards, that's probably a 10 out of 10, Probably best we're gonna get. And I'm not trying to shit on the woman or anything like that. To my personal preferences, I probably wouldn't shoot for that. But if I was EDP, that's probably the best I'm gonna get. And I'm gonna go with it, But does he? No, he's a fucking idiot. And somehow this chick actually looked like she actually cared about him and wanted a relationship with him and, you know, want to see if things could actually work out, and actually gave him a chance, actually let him in and tried to, you know, have him let her in. But that never happened. He just pretty much found her annoying, found her this, talked all this shit about her in the documentary, and was like, I prefer pretty much just watching porn and beating my dick than being with her because she's annoying. Homie just admitted he likes beating his dick in a dark room to some other bitch being fucked. He's not even doing the fucking. So he pretty much admitted that he likes being a cuck pretty much. So either way, besides that, yeah, no, I just kind of feel bad for the chick because, again, he's already a piece of shit. She probably knows that, but still gives him a chance anyways. And seems actually interested in the relationship and EDP himself. And again, a lot of women will probably just take advantage of him or not even give him the time of day. But this woman did. And it just all blew up in her face because he's a piece of shit. And pretty much he goes into it and pretty much doubles down on text messages or says they're fake, even though we all know they're not fake. Then, what's really weird, and I'll wrap up the video here, at the end of the documentary, or at some part of it, he talks about, getting an AI girlfriend. And, it's weird that we've gotten to that point, but again, a lot of lonely motherfuckers, especially motherfuckers like EDP, that's kind of what these AI girlfriends are advertised to, and that's kind of the main people, you know, indulging in this. But pretty much with these AI girlfriends, you can make your ideal girl or whatever the fuck. I don't really know how it works. I just know they kind of like make a picture of a chick, how they want the chick to look, and then it's probably just chat messages and shit. I don't know. All I know is some guy in China or some other country is taking all that data, laughing at that shit, or selling it to porn companies. Or, again, it's probably just some underground investigation with the police to catch weirdos, and if they start doing some weird shit, I'll at least kind of have a little bit of a foot trail of shit to kind of be like, okay, this is kind of what we're dealing with. I don't know, that's just one of my random guesses, but either way, he goes on to saying he, instead of having this girlfriend, a real girlfriend, he's like, I got this AI girlfriend. It's the best girlfriend I ever had. I had the best sexual experiences with it. I was drooling to a fake woman that doesn't even exist. This is who we're dealing with. God damn. But either way, they ask him what were they role-playing about. Like, what was the conversation about? Blah, blah, blah. And at first, he doesn't want to go into it. And I don't blame him. Most people don't want to talk about those sexual conversations. If I'm having a consensual conversation with a chick and it gets sexual, she's sending me messages, I'm sending her messages, yeah, I'm not going to want to read that out to the homies. I'm not going to lie. You know, that's private information. But either way, they at some point get it out of him. And do you think it's just some like weird roleplay, like he's maybe into BDSM, or he's maybe into just something a little off, a little odd? Maybe it's just like little sexual messages, a little, you know, cringy if you maybe read them out loud, like, oh, I'm gonna do this or that. No, he talks about how he pretty much roleplays that they're 16 or 17 years old. Red flag, red flag, red flag. And this whole thing, this whole documentary, is just pretty much a fucking, hey, look at me, I'm a fucking idiot. Hey, look at me, here's all the evidence. All it takes now, sorry about my phone. All it takes now is a solid investigation against him. They already have the evidence. They just need a solid enough investigation to actually throw him in jail. This time, people, if they do throw another investigation towards him, this time they need to not fuck up and do it properly, and he needs to serve the time he needs. Because right now, he thinks he did nothing wrong because he's not in handcuffs. But it's like, buddy, you know you're doing shit wrong, and you know you got away with it because you got lucky. But he keeps pushing and pushing the envelope. So I can't wait till his time runs out with his dialysis shit. I know that's kind of fucked up to say, but karma's a bitch. And yeah, he has kidney failure after all of this. When he first got exposed for being a child pedo, that's when he found out about that shit. So he's kind of a ticking time bomb on that. Or if another investigation happens, and it's actually a solid enough investigation to throw him in jail, he's going to be in jail with the dialysis, and that shit not going to be fun. So yeah, either way, I kind of think he's pretty much fucked because he's just slowly dying. Or again, if there was another solid investigation, they could actually probably lock his ass up, which they should probably do. But either way, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, hit that like button, subscribe, turn on notifications, and comment down below what you guys think about all of this. And yeah, I'll see you guys all in the next video. Bye, guys.